Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Trojan basketball 1990-91 season as the Trojans welcome back head coach Gordon Foster for the 90-91 season. And what a season it should be. The Trojans seem to be loaded up with some very experienced ball players and some kids that can really do the job if they work at it out here. And I think they're going to play one heck of a good basketball season this year. Coach Foster, I know, is looking forward to it. And this is the first ball game on the schedule for the Trojans this year. They have played a couple of preseason ball games and look pretty good the way I understand, although I didn't see them. But anyway, they were supposed to be doing pretty well in preseason, and tonight they'll start a non-league ball game, but one that will count on the overall for the ball club. So we'll be set with the introduction of the Trojans and see what kind of a starting lineup Coach Foster will send out there tonight as we get set for the big season opener. Chris Herb will be number 10. He'll be at one of the guard positions, brother of number 20. Or, no, he's not the brother of Ian Spouts, of course. Okay, Ian Spouts will be the other forward. Jason Undercuffler will play at a forward spot. Number 34 is Jeff Lentz. Jeff, the senior on the ball club, one of the seniors, along with number 10 in there, Steve Herb. And Scott Reed, the sophomore, will be starting at the other forward position. We'll be having the national anthem, and we'll be set to go with some round ball here at UDA Gymnasium. Okay, we're getting set to go with the opening tip-off of the 1990 season as Scott Reed will tip off for the Trojans. They'll be traveling left to right to begin the ball game. Here we go. Opening tip controlled by the Vikings, and some of these guys will pick up as we go on here. Here's 15 with a shot. In and out, no good. Rebounded over there by Reed. And a travel violation will be called against Scott. As Scott went up for the rebound, kind of staggered backwards and was called on the violation. Northern Lebanon Vikings with the ball. Right wing shot, good. It's 2-0. Northern Lebanon. Ian Spouts, the point guard for the Trojans, over here for Undercuffler, and Undercuffler's shot is rejected in there by a Viking, and back with it they come. Here's a ball tipped loose again, and Undercuffler driving it in to the hoop. Nope, he's going to lose the handle on it, and it's tipped out of bounds by number 15 of the 15 of the Vikings. Anyway, over here we go, and here's a shot put up for two, no good, and foul called underneath. First foul of the ball game. It goes against the Vikings. None shooting, of course, and so it'll be, or against the Trojans, I mean. None shooting foul. 15 drives it into the paint, drops it off on the right baseline. Shot put up and rejected nicely in there, that time by Scott Reed, who did a super job with it. Back comes Ian Spouts. Ian working around out front here, loses the ball momentarily, gathers it back in, gives it over to Undercuffler. Jeff Lentz with a shot. Ball knocked out of Jeff's hands. Now they pass it over to the near side. Here's a shot by Smeltz. Good. Ian nails it, and then we're tied up at 2. Long pass down here. Left baseline. Guy slides into the paint. No call on the walk. Three-point attempt from outside is no good. Rebounded in there by the Trojans as Steve Herb has it. Near side over here. Ball tipped out of the hands of Undercuffler, but it'll remain UDA ball. Steve Herb, new face in the lineup for the Trojans this year. And this is Ian Smeltz with it. Ian trying to work down the right side here now. Goes into the paint, drops it inside. It's tripped away, however. And back with it come the Vikings. Number 15 driving it down there, flipping it over to the far side. It's going to go out of bounds off the fingertips of number 51. Custer. And Custer knocks it out of bounds and gives the Trojans the ball. Smelts, with a head of steam into the lane, stopping and popping it up and in. Good. Ian Smelts with a fine drive to the bucket. Gives the Trojans a 2-point margin, 4-2. Right baseline shot, good. Hey, kid hung up a three-pointer and the Trojans trail 5-4. Just like that. Those 3-point shots seem to double the score. Here's Ian again, rushing, or rather Ian with a shot now. No good. Rebound shot out by Smelts, no good. Follow-up shot short in there, taken by Steve Herb. And back with it come the Vikings. Right wing shot, good. Kids can shoot. Herb working it over here for Smelts. Ian looking down the right side, trying to dump it inside, and a foul will be called as number 33 will pick up the personal. That is Runkle. Runkle picks up his first. Here's a shot by Lentz on the inbound pass. Good. Jeff Lentz nails a nice little three-footer from over in the left side. Here's a Viking with a shot. Good. He comes right back and nails one. And Ian Smelts with it. Jeff Snyder into the ball game for the Trojans now. Steve Herb back out here for Snyder. Now over to Herb. Herb dribbles in a couple of times, drops it off here for Lentz. Lentz puts a shot up, no good. Rebound comes off to Runkle. .15, right side. Now they drop it right in front. The kid puts a shot up and in, good. Number 51 for Northern Lebanon. Hits one from right out in front. Pass over in the side. Left wing shot by Herb, no good. Rebound inside there by Jeff Snyder, no good. And a rebound comes back there. Here is Lentz with a shot on a good pass, or rather Reed. A nice bounce pass in there by the Trojans. It's 11-8, the Vikings. Super bounce pass that time. Here's a ball tipped into the crowd off the fingertips of Jeff Lentz. And that'll give the ball back to the Vikings. Over on the right side, down in the corner deep. Here's this kid that's dead from over there, and he nails another one. This 51 is absolutely something else from over there. That's at Custer. Here's Jeff Snyder with it. Jeff has the ball roll loose. Now he's got it back again, I think. Let's see. Yeah, he does control it over in the corner. Shot from the side. Good. Ian Smelts nails one from over in the side. And the game is now 14-10. The Vikings up by 4. Smelts on the guard over there. Knocks the ball out of bounds off Custer's hand. And it will be UDA ball. Undercuffler back into the ball game as Jeff Snyder checks out for the Trojans. Ian Smelts across the timeline with it now. Looking down this right side, working it into the corner down here. All the way, stops on the baseline, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound comes back off here to the Vikings. He rushes one up and in, good. Smelts. Near side over here for Undercuffler. Jason driving the right baseline, goes underneath, has the ball roll out of his hands, out of bounds. And we've got 2:33 remaining in period 1 at 16-10. Trojans trailing by 6. Drives it into the lane, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound by Scott Reed. And back with it come the Trojans. Ian Smelts looking for some help, and he's got it here from Jason Undercuffler. We'll drop it back here now for Steve Herb. Steve driving it over here for Undercuffler on the right wing. Back out in front now for the Trojans. Steve Herb with it, top of the circle here for Undercuffler. Jason looking to set something up here. Jason's going to drive it up into the lane, puts a shot up, and he is fouled. As Jason went to the hoop with it, and he draws a foul. Number 33, Runkle will pick up the personal. Bryce Buffington into the ball game for the Trojans. Now he'll replace Steve Herb. First shot by Undercuffler is good. It's now 16-11. Viking margin down to 5. Second shot, no good. Rebound comes off to Runkle. Ian Smeltz guarding out front here. Near side, Jason Undercuffler on 31. Shot put up, no good. Rebounded nicely by Scott Reed as he went high into the air to pull down that rebound. And back with it come the Trojans. This is Ian Smeltz firing it over here now for Jeff Lentz. Jeff tries to go into the paint. He's blocked out of there. Nothing doing. Here goes Smeltz with it, driving it over there. Passes it back over here for Bryce Buffington. Out here for 3. No good. Something called back here. Didn't really hear the whistle. But something happened with 1:10. Ian Smeltz will check out as Steve Herb comes back in. Waiting for a couple of subs to be brought into the game now. Clock down to 1:09. There's a long pass into the right wing corner. Shot from over there. It's good. That kid there just keeps hitting them. Custer for Northern Lebanon. Must have about 8 from over there. Here's a pass inside to Scott Reed, and Scott is fouled. He'll go to the floor, and they'll call it a jump. No shot, no foul. They call it a jump as Scott was stuffed in there by that young Viking. With 52 seconds remaining, it's 19-11. Here's Undercuffler with it. Into the middle, Bryce Buffington sets it up over on the far side to Lentz, now out in front. Shot by Undercuffler, won't go. Rebound comes down to number 61. 51, make that Custer. Anyway, over on the far side, here's a nice steal. Good anticipation by Bryce Buffington. Dumps it back over here to Ian, or to Steve Herb, and Herb puts it in. It's 19-13 with 22 seconds remaining. Trojans with some good pressure. Bring it over here now on the left side. They'll swing it. 25 with it. We're looking around. Passing over to the far side. Near steal over there. Not quite. Here's a shot from the baseline. Good. And again, it's that Custer who nails it from the baseline. He loves to shoot from that left side. Here's a shot at the buzzer. Won't go. And so that ends the first period of play. But the Trojans trailing now 21-13 at the end of 1. Okay, second period underway. Vikings with the ball. Pitch inside, comes back out to 15. He puts a shot up, no good. Rebound on the far side. This is Ian Smeltz with it. Trying to bounce it over here for 22 of the Trojans. He puts a shot up, but it's blocked. Now that was Sean Herb, brother of Steve Herb. He's into the ball game now. And back with it come the Vikings. Just need a couple to get back in this one. Out in front, near side over here for 15. He'll dump it inside right to Jeff Lentz, and Jeff picks it off nicely. And back with it comes the Steve Herb. Back over here for brother Sean Herb. Sean into the paint, puts a shot up, but won't go. Rebounded in there by the Trojans. Here's number 20, Smeltz with a shot, and Ian is fouled, and he'll go to the line shooting 2. Smeltz at the line to shoot a pair. His first shot, good. And Smeltz's second shot is in and out. No good. Wait a minute. A shot, a violation on 25 over there. That's that Bender for the Vikings. And so Ian will get another shot. He'll get 3 to make 2. Here's his second shot. It's good. So that paid as Bender gives him an extra point. Try, and he made it. Long cross-court pass, and now back to 15 with it. Over here for 31, he puts a shot up, and he is fouled, and the foul will be on Steve Herb. And that'll send number 31 to the line shooting 2. Kozlowski made the first bucket, and he'll get a chance to put his second one in now. It's 22-15, 7-point margin for Northern Lebanon. And his second shot is no good. Rebound's going to come off and be controlled by Ian Smeltz. Long pass down here now for Sean Herb, and it goes off Sean's fingertips out of bounds, and so it will be Viking ball with 6:55 remaining in the first half. Steve Herb working on him out here. Into the corner it goes. Here's a shot taken by Custer, and he missed one. Missed it from in. He was in too close. Anyway, here's a shot by the Trojans. Follow-up shot by Scott Reed is good. Scott gets his second bucket of the night, I do believe, and it's 22-17. And timeout's going to be called now by Northern Lebanon. .628 remaining here in period number 2. The Trojans trailing by 5. Okay, ball put back in play now as a timeout is over. It was a Viking timeout. Into the corner. Here's Custer from his spot. He missed it. Well, he is human after all. Trojans with the rebound. Steve Herb with it. Steve into the lane, driving it right up and putting it up, but it won't go. There's a rebound shot put up by Scott Reed, and Scott's shot won't go as he is fouled, climbed on in there. And Scott will go to the line shooting 2. And these foul shots right now could be very, very big for UDA. We need all the points we can get, trailing by 5. And Scott Reed at the line, shooting a pair. Here's Scott's first shot. Good. Scott got a little help on that one. The ball hit, bounced 4 feet into the air, and came right back down the chute. Trick shot. Anyway, second shot. No good. Rebound comes off to the Vikings. And back with it they come. 15, their point guard. The only man not on the roster on the scoreboard, so I don't know his name. But anyway, away with it comes the Trojans. Wow, pass over here intended for Reed, going to be knocked out of bounds by number 15 as Ian Smeltz fired that ball over here and hit 15 with it. Here's Steve Herb back out in front. Ian Smeltz with it now at the top of the circle. Ian dropping it off over here for Scott Reed. Scott pops a shot up and in, out, no good. And back with it come the Vikings. Long pass on the far side for that Custer. Back out in front now, 15. Now they go inside with it. Wow, he was open, missed the pass. Shot taken over there by Bender, no good. And rebound comes off to Reed. He loses the ball, however, on a pass, and he's going to be bumped out of bounds. It's going to stay upward off, or rather, it's going to stay Viking ball. No, he made the wrong call. Okay. Scott Reed looked at him and said, wait, how can you call that? And of course, he did change his mind. All right. Anyway, he is ready to inbound. Here we go. Crossed over here now for Jeff Lentz. Jeff with a nice pass on the floor. It goes. Here's a shot by Sean Herb, no good. Second follow-up shot, however, is good. So Sean hits it. And it's now 22-20. The Trojans have climbed to within 2. Down the far side, here's that Custer. Well, he missed another one. 35's got the rebound in the paint. Looks to hook it up underneath, but he's blocked away, and back with it comes Steve Herb. Steve slows it down, gives it over there to Smeltz. Ian trying to work his way in, can't do it. Over here, Sean Herb, right into the paint, 12-footer, good. Sean Herb with a nice shot from about 12 feet out. Ties up the ball game at 22-all. Trojans had led by 6 or 8 at least at one time, and now Northern Lebanon's going to call timeout as he sees Coach Foster's gang over here starting to get it together. All right. 4:28 remaining here in the second period. Trojans and Vikings all tied up. The Vikings will own the basketball as timeout has expired. They will inbound the ball. Swinging it down here for Custer. He goes for a walk as he tries to start it off. So all of a sudden, Mr. Custer coming unglued over there. went for a walk as he tried to get it going over there on the right side. And here comes Ian Smeltz with it. Ian down that left side, loses the handle, picks the ball back up, dumps it over here now for Herb. Steve Herb at the top of the circle as the boys travel around underneath here. Steve bounces it over here for Jeff Lentz, who loses the handle and picks it back up, dumps it back out in front. Here's Ian Smeltz in the circle, back over here for Lentz. Now they drop it outside. Over to the far side, here's Smeltz for three, won't go. Rebound comes off to the Vikings. We're still tied at 22 all. It's a pass inside, picked off in there nicely by Scott Reed. He gives it back over to Lentz, who then gives it back to Steve Herb. And Steve traveling to the top of the circle, spins around, drops it over to the far side. Here's a shot over there by Sean Herb, and Sean nails his 6th point of the ball game, his 3rd bucket. 24-22, UDA up by 2 now. It took them a little while to get it going, but they're now ahead. Here's a right baseline shot, stuffed in there by Reed, but the follow-up shot put in there by number 25, Bender, I think that is. And he puts it home. Here goes Smeltz, dumps it inside nicely to Scott Reed. Scott's shot won't go, and a cheap foul called on Scott Reed as he went over the top a little bit on the rebound, but gosh, not very much. There's 24-24 as we're back to a tie with 2:58 remaining in the first half. Good ball game starting to unfold here now. Both teams showing a lot of action. Here's a long pass down the right wing side. Back out here to 15. 15 travels into the paint, drops it off over there. Shot taken good. 26-24. Vikings up by 2. Smeltz over here now for Herb. And now to Smeltz as they play it out here by the timeline, trying to get something set up underneath. Smeltz now advancing, giving it back here to Sean Herb. Sean over into the corner, back out in front. Here's a shot for 3 by Steve Herb. That won't go. Rebound in there by the Vikings. And back with it comes 41 of the Vikings. Down over there for that Custer. He tries to loop one up. It won't go. Rebound comes off to Sean Herb. Sean tries to get the pass ahead. Is partially tipped. And back into the hands of the Vikings. Near side over here for 41. Top of the circle he goes. Drops it back over in the right wing side. Now down in the corner. Back out. 15 will bring it out here to set it up. Near side over here. 41 dribbles into the lane. Stops and drops one up. It won't go, but the rebound shot by number 33 is good. That's Kozlowski, I think his name is. Kozlowski. No, Runkel, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Here's a shot, and a good charge to the line that time by Smeltz. Ian rolling it in here. Over into the corner. Shot taken, no good. Rebound by Jeff Lentz. Back to Steve Herb. Steve crossed the timeline at the top of the circle. 17-footer. Good. Beautiful shot by that Steve Herb. He nails one for the Trojans and puts them back into a tie at 28 all. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Trojans have really come back. It's all tied up at 28. Over on the far side. 3-point attempt from the right wing. No good. Rebound comes off to the Vikings. He'll bring it back here to 15 as they try to set it up. Winding around that other side. Dumps it into the right base. And a good rejection in there by Scott Reed, I think it was. Anyway, here's a bounce pass over there intended for Steve Herb, and a foul call as 35 through a clip. Looked like a football block he was trying to get on Herb that time. And Steve will go to the line shooting a 1-and-1, I guess. I'm not exactly sure here. Let's see what Steve's going to shoot. With 34 seconds remaining, he'll be shooting 2. No, 1-and-1. Okay. First shot by Steve Herb is good, and that gives the Trojans the lead. 29-28, 34 seconds remaining in the first half. Steve Herb looking for 2. Got it. 30-28, Trojans by 2. Trojans with some full court pressure now, as they got them trapped out here. Now they get it away, I think. Let's see. Yeah, just finally. Over on the right wing side it goes. The right baseline. Rungel with a shot. No good. A foul called underneath. Can't hear that one guy's whistle very well somehow or another. 44 of the Trojans, which would be Scott Reed, picks up the personal foul. And that'll send Custer to the line shooting 2. Sophomore Chad Mix into the ball game for the Trojans, giving Scott Reed a whiff. First shot by Custer is good. Kid must have about 11 or 12 points in the ball game so far. Gives the Vikings their 29th point. They trail by 1 now, 30-29. He can tie it up. Second shot is no good. Rebound comes off to Mix. He'll dish it back over here for Steve. And Steve throws it down there. Here's Mix with a shot. No good. Rebound comes off to 33. And back with it come the Vikings. 51, Custer puts a shot up. It won't go. Rebound won't go. And the ball going to be tapped out of bounds right at the buzzer to end the first half. So an excellent first half for the Trojans as they began very, very slowly. But they take a 1-point margin into halftime. So can't do a whole lot better than that. What the heck? It is 30-29 UDA at the end of the first half of play. Getting set to go with the second half action of tonight's ball game. The Trojans with that 1-point lead, 30-29 over the Lebanon Valley, yeah, right, the Northern Lebanon ball club, Vikings here. And the Trojans showing an ability to come back and hang in there in a ball game that it looked as though for a while there, the Northern Lebanon guys were going to kind of break this one open, but Trojans tightened up the defense, loosened up the offense, and we're back to a 1-point margin. And the Trojans get the ball to start the final half of the ball game. This is Ian Smeltz with it. Near side over here for Undercuffler. Back out in front now for Steve Herb. Steve at the top of the circle over here for Undercuffler. Jason looking in, drops it back over here for Smeltz. Smeltz at the top of the circle as the Trojans try to work something up out there. Steve Herb with it now. Steve, top of the circle, still looking as the Trojans maneuver around in there. Here's Undercuffler at the top of the circle. He's going to drive it around the right side, stops and pops, and he's fouled. And Jason will go to the line to shoot a pair. Undercuffler's first shot's good. Jason nails the first one, gives the Trojans a 2-point margin, 31-29. For number 33, that was his third personal foul, as during the second half now, John Long decides to put the person's number up there and the number of fouls he has on the scoreboard. I had to talk to John about that. Anyway, he picked up personal foul number 3. Here's 25, Bender from outside. No good. Rebound comes off to the Trojans. This is Ian with it. All the way he goes. Rolls one up there. It won't go. Back with it comes Bender again. Down that left side. Dropping it inside for Custer. Custer is fouled. Scott Reed will pick up the personal foul. And for Scott, I believe that's going to be foul number 2 at least. We'll see. Scott picks up his third. Nope, number 3 for Scott Reed. Custer at the line, shooting 2. Custer's first shot was good. Made it a 32-30 2-point margin for the Trojans. He can cut that to 1. His second shot is also good, and we got a 1-point ball game, 32-31 Upper Dauphin. Ian Smeltz with it. Setting it up. Over to the far side they go with it to Steve Herb. Herb out in front. Over for Smeltz. Smeltz has the ball tapped out of his hands by number 15. But the Trojans will maintain possession. An Undercuffler will inbound for UDA. Does so here for Jeff Lentz on the right wing side. Tries to pass it across here, but 15 picks it off for his Vikings, and back they come. Here's a shot from the right wing side, no good, and a foul is going to be called. A foul will be on Jeff Lentz, I believe.
Come on, Jeff.
Yep, Jeff will pick up personal foul number 2. That came with 6:39 remaining in the third period. We've just begun the third period. on the left baseline, now out in the left wing. Shot taken from over there by Bender. No good. Rebound's going to get knocked out of bounds as number 41, also Leedy, his name is. He got knocked down. But it came off a Trojan, and it will be Leedy to inbound. Near side here for Custer. No good. Rebound comes right back over to Scott Reed. Fires it across there for the Trojans. Steve Herb with it. He'll stop and pop for two. No good. Rebound comes off to the Vikings. 15 with a head of steam. Trying to dump it inside. Goes off a couple of players. Ian Smelts picks it up for the Trojans. Now he's got it to Steve Herb. Dumping it over here for Undercuffler, and Undercuffler missed the peeper. He was alone. Got a good pass. Here's a walk going to be called. Yeah, 15. That last hop was just a little bit too long, and the official called him for a walk. Good call. Sean Herb will come into the ball game. He'll be replacing Jason Undercuffler with 6 minutes remaining in the third period. Trojans up by 1, 32-31. Smelts into the center of it, back over to the far side now for Steve Herb. Steve back over here for Sean, brother Sean. Winding it around the right side, and a foul is going to be called. They're going to call a foul on number 41 of the Vikings as he pushed off on Sean as he went around the right side, and that'll give the Trojans the ball. Inside for Reed. Oh, wait a minute. It went out of bounds again, and Scott had the inbound pass, dropped it off, or either dropped it off or lost it to Ian Smelts, and Ian was on the baseline, so ball is turned over here to the Vikings. Near side, here's Zach Custer, and Custer nails one. No, it wasn't Custer, it was Leedy that time. It's 34-32 as he hit a three-bagger, I guess, and gave them the lead now. 34-32 Vikings. Here's a pass inside for Lentz. Spin around shot, good. Jeff Lentz with a 9-footer from out here on the left side gives the Trojans a tie. 34-34. It's going to be one of those kind of games, I believe. Looks like both teams really setting it up. Here's Leedy with it. Back out here for 11. Here's a steal. Ian Smelts going in, lays it up and in. Good job on the steal and a good bucket for Ian Smelts. Fine steal by that young fella and a good bucket. 36-34 UDA by 2. Custer over on the far side. Ball on the floor, and Scott Reed falls on top of him. Scott was almost called for piling on that time. Anyway, 4:45 remaining in the third. Trojans up by 2, 36-34. Runkle back into the ball game for the Vikings. Out here for the unknown 15. Over there for that Custer on the left wing. He stops, pops, short. Rebound comes right down to Jeff Lentz. He'll shuffle it ahead here for Steve Herb. Steve across the timeline. Out in front, Steve, who drops it off over there for brother Sean. Sean puts a shot up, no good. There's that Scott Reed with a rebound shot, no good. Scott pushed to the floor after the shot, no foul coming. Crowd wanted a foul on that one. Here's Leedy going to the hoop, no good. Rebound comes off over there for Custer. His shot partially blocked by Reed, and a foul is going to be called this time as Jeff Lentz will pick up the foul on Leedy, or rather on Runkle. And let's see here now. For Jeff, it will be his third, I believe. Yep, Lentz picks up his third personal with 4:14 remaining here in the third. There's a pass out of bounds off the fingertips of Smelts. Ian got a hand on that one. Knocked it out of bounds. Leedy will inbound it over here now for number 15. Back over to Leedy. Back to 15. Near side here, ball stripped loose, and it's going to go out of bounds off a Trojan. Will remain Viking ball. Northern Lebanon will inbound. Leedy set to inbound it. He does so back here for a 15. Smelts on him. Near side over here now. They drop it off over here for Custer. He puts a shot up, no good. And a foul call this time as Leedy went over top of Jeff Lentz, I guess it was. And finally got a foul call on the Vikings. 3:54 remaining in period 3. Leedy picks up his second personal. Team's third, so both teams have a couple to give before the bonus. And he went back court. Unusual now for that to occur here, as just a little loss of concentration, I guess, on Smeltz's part, as Ian stepped back court, and now the Trojans going to call timeout. Coach Foster alertly sees the maybe the mental lapse here a little bit, so he's going to call time and check it out here with the boys with 3:46 remaining in the third. It's 36-34 UDA by 2. Okay, Leedy will inbound following the UDA timeout, and he does so to 15, who goes right to the hoop with it. And it's 36-36 tie. That looked almost too easy. Ian Smeltz over there for Steve Herb. Back to Smeltz. Left wing side here now for Sean Herb. Sean will stop and pop for 3, a little bit short. Over on the far side it goes. Picked up over there by the Vikings, and back with it comes 15. We're tied at 36 with 3:20 remaining. Near side here for Leedy. Dumps it back out to 15. Point guard out the top of the circle. Back over here for Leedy. Looks like he's popping one for 2. It won't go. Rebounded in there by the Vikings eventually, and Kozlowski puts it home for the Vikes. 38-36. The Vikings have the margin. Bounce pass over here now for Steve Herb. Into the corner. Jeff Lentz has got it. Back out for Steve on the right wing. Now over near side here for Sean. Steve Herb at the top of the circle. The Trojans try to get her set up. Over here for Sean Herb. Sean on the left wing. Drives it down to the left baseline. Stops and puts a shot up, and a foul is going to be called underneath there. And Sean Herb will go to the line shooting 2. 41 Leedy picks up the personal foul for Northern Lebanon. And Sean Herb will go to the line shooting a very important pair. Sean, pretty darn good shooter, so we'll see if Sean can be on tonight. He's going to shoot 2. First shot, no, just not a little bit, just about 2 ounces short of enough strength to put that one in. But he'll try it again. Second shot, well, not too good. Maybe I jinxed him, I don't know. Anyway, back with it comes Northern Lebanon now. 38-36, Northern Lebanon enjoying a 2-point margin here now. Here's Leedy for nope, thought he was going to shoot for 3. Changed his mind, 15 into the paint. Drops it back out here, Leedy for 3 this time, no good. Way off the mark, Jeff Lentz with the rebound. Fires it out here, tipped out of bounds off the fingertips of Custer. And Jason Undercuffer will check back into the game now. Sean Herb will take a seat with 2:15 remaining in the third. Trojans trailing by 2, 38-36. Near side here for Steve Herb. See, working around out in front, looking, passing it over to the far side. Here's a shot by Ian Smeltz for 2. Ian nails a nice one, and we're tied at 38. 38 all. 15 over the left side over there for that Custer. Passes it over here for 35. Now inside it goes. 33 with a shot good. That's Runkle. He nails it. 40-39. UDA trailing by 1. Ian Smeltz, top of the circle, working down the left wing side, looking around in there, dumps it into the left baseline here for Undercuffler. Now back out for Herb, and a foul call. Foul underneath. And they finally got number 51, Runkle, in there, and Runkle pushing all over the place underneath, as you can probably see. I hope so. And Runkle finally gets the call against him, and it looks like Scott Reed will be the one going the line for the Trojans, shooting a 1-and-1. So let's go, Scott. Scott can tie up the ball game with this first one. He's got it, and we're tied at 40. Nice shot by this sophomore, Scott Reed. Good job. Minute 19 remaining in the third. Scott can put us ahead. He did. 41-40, UDA by 1. Good coverage back here by the Trojans. Ball tipped ahead here now, over in the left wing side. Now it goes inside, back out. 15 for 2. Got it. 42-41, Vikings by 1 with 1 minute remaining in the third. Ian Smeltz working it around, dumping it inside here for Scott Reed at the top of the circle. My gosh, Scott's brutalized out there, no call. Undercuffler with it into the corner. Now a foul is going to be called. The boys getting rough out here, and their officials just impassively looking on. Coach Foster says, what the hey? He can't believe the no calls. Can't believe the none calls, Coach Foster questioning where the officials' whistles are. Anyway, Steve Herb at the line shooting a 1-and-1. His first shot is good. Okay, it had to think about it, but it dropped in. And that ties up the ball game again at 42-all with 46 seconds remaining in the third period. Second shot no good off the front. Rebound comes down to Leedy. He'll pass it off over there for 15. He stops at the top of the circle. Drops it off over here for Leedy. Back to 15. This is Custer. Maybe playing for the last shot of the third quarter. Clock down to 22 seconds. Pass over in the corner. Now 15 has it. Looking for Custer out in front, I would think. Yeah, he dropped it for Custer. Clock down to 10 seconds. Here goes 15 into the lane. Puts a shot up and in good. So they use the clock very well. We're down to 2 seconds. There's a long shot. Wow, off the glass. But no good. So anyway, the Trojans, who had the lead at halftime by 1 or 2, now trail at the end of 3 by 2. It's 44-42. UDA trailing by 2. Fourth and final period coming up. To begin the fourth period now, Undercuffler will inbound for the Trojans for Ian Smeltz. Ian working it down the right wing side there for Steve Herb. Tight ball game, 44-42. Trojans trailing by 2 as we enter the fourth period. Here's Smeltz spinning around out there, and he's tripped up as he goes into the lane, and a foul will be called on Leedy, and Leedy can't believe it. Leedy says, what? He just absolutely cannot believe it. Giving the official the evil eye over there. But for Leedy, he picked up his 4th personal foul. And Ian Smeltz will go to the line shooting a 1-and-1. A big 1-and-1, as every one of these is going to really count now. So we'll see if Ian can hit the first one of these two. Here's his shot. Good. Good job. 44-43. Ian with a chance to tie it up. Second shot. Good. We're tied. Good job, Ian Smeltz. 44-all. .15 with it as the Trojans trap him into the zone, but in fact it's going to be a 10-second violation as they exceeded the 10-second rule, getting it up over the timeline. Trojans with some great defense that time. Boy, kids really putting the pressure on him back there. Trapped him into in his own zone. Here's Steve Herb out at the top of the circle. Steve looking to set it up. Brother Sean has it over in the right wing. Now in front here, Lentz with a shot. It's in and out, no good. Would not go down for Jeff. Jeff had the position. Nice setup that time right at the top of the foul line, and wouldn't go. Here's 15 driving it loose. It comes, and back with it comes Sean Herb. Sean racing in, puts the shot up, it's good, and a foul's called. The foul will be on number 41, Leedy, and that's going to be the end of the ball game for Leedy, and the bucket is good. What a great job by Sean Herb that time on the steal. Kept the concentration, went right to the bucket, put the shot in, and for Leedy, I think that's it. That is 5. The referee coming over here to tell him that, and Mr. Leedy, who is an unhappy camper right now, will leave the ball game. So he leaves with 7:04 remaining here in the ball game. Sean Herb looking to finish off this three-point play. Here's his shot. It's beautiful and good. And Sean really drops her in there nicely. And it's the Trojans up now 47-44 as they lead by 3. There's a pass underneath, going to go loose and picked up in there by Steve Herb. Steve coming back for the Trojans. Ooh, nearly lost it out there. Gives it over to brother Sean. Sean down the right wing side. Back over here for Steve. He'll back it out in front. Now try to dump it inside for Lentz, but the ball is off the fingertips of number 33, Runkle. And it'll be offered off in ball. Sean Herb will inbound. Does so back here for Steve Herb. The Herb brothers. Sean, who dribbles into the lane, stops, pops a 12-footer up, no good. Rebound comes off to Runkle. And back with it come the Vikings. Here's a pass underneath. Kid drops it off nicely. Oh, nice pass that time. Good pass and a good play to Custer, and Custer put her home. 47-46, UDA by 1. Back out in front. Here goes Sean Herb into the lane. Puts a 12-footer up. It goes in. Good enough. No, a charge. They're both going to call a charge this time. As Sean could not get away with that one. Sean went in a little heavy, and it's going to be a charging foul. Coach Foster disagrees with that totally, but the call is made. Both officials calling the same play, so we'll have to assume that there's a possibility they may have called that one correctly. I won't say they did, but there's a possibility. Anyway, 1-point ball game yet. Here goes 25, Bender with it. And Bender's going to go for a walk as he slides into some good coverage there by Steve Herb. Steve all over him. Made some good coverage that time. And we still have a 1-point margin. Trojans up 47-46. This is Ian Smells down to the right baseline. Pushes it back out here for Steve Herb. Steve dribbles in. Puts it up at the hoop. It won't go. Rebound in there by, well, let's see. Who's the foul on? 33, I guess. Yep, going to be 33, and that's going to send Scott Reed to the line shooting. And boy, looks like a technical foul. And in fact, he is going to get a technical foul. So number 33, Runkle, getting unglued out here, picks himself up a technical foul. So that will help the Trojan cause now. And everybody's going to get back as Scott Reed will go to the foul line. Runkle really taking a lot of exception to that call. Seems like these Northern Lebanon ball players try to react to almost everything. They were doing the same thing in the junior varsity game. There was no call that they liked. And here comes Reed for this first shot's good. Scott Reed can stand there and practice foul shooting, and Scott doesn't miss a bunch. I think I said that before and he missed a pair, but that's unlike Scott. He is usually a good foul shooter. Second shot, good, perfect. No rim, nothing but net for those two. Now wait a minute, now he'll have 2 more shots. He'll have the technical now as the Trojans pile up a couple of points. It's 49-46. And Reed will be at the line if he wants him to. Sure, Coach Foster says, hey, why not? The kid's hot. Here's the foul, the technical fouls now. First shot is good. And he'll shoot another one as Scott can make 4 right here in this series. And then the Trojans, of course, will get the ball out of bounds. Next shot, good. So Scott makes 4 out of 4. Says, hey, this is easy. Good job, Scott. Beautiful. And the Trojans will have the ball out of bounds after the Northern Lebanon timeout. So we got plenty of time remaining in the ball game. 5:41 left, as a matter of fact. And we've got a 51-46 score. Trojans up now by 5, the biggest margin of the ball game for UDA for sure. And the Trojans will have the ball out of bounds when we come back from this timeout. Steve Herb will inbound the ball to Ian Smeltz, and he did. Trojans with the ball following the tee. Here goes Smeltz. Into the corner they go with it to Sean Herb. He dumps it inside nicely. Oh, a shot there by Scott Reed, and a foul will be called on Jeff Lentz. Scott had the pass underneath, and Scott feels bad about that. He just contributed greatly to the Trojan cause on offense with his foul shooting. Then he had a 3-foot peeper, and he blew it. Ah, well. Anyway, 5.5 minutes remaining. As Scott picks up personal foul number 4, and that's going to, or Jeff Lentz rather, picks up personal foul number 4. Jeff will check out of the ball game, and somebody called time. I'm not sure who that was, but anyway, Chad Mix coming into the ball game for UDA to take Jeff Lentz's place with 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the contest. Trojans had called timeout. It's over now. And Runkle will go to the line. Shooting. He misses. Ball's tipped in the air. comes back out here now to the Vikings. Here's Custer with it on the right side. Bounce pass inside for Runkle. Puts a shot up and in, good. 51-48, only a 3-point ball game now for UDA. Steve Herb with it, passes it inside for Scott Reed. He goes into the paint. Ball stripped away from him in there by number 33 or number 35, Brewer. Near side for Custer, shot no good. Rebound comes off to 33, and a foul will be called underneath. Might have been on Scott Reed. We'll see. Yeah, 44. Scott Reed picks up his fourth. I believe it's Scott's fourth. Let's see. And to the line will go Runkle. He'll be shooting a 1-on-1. Reed will have to leave the ball game now as Jake Swab comes into the game for UDA. That was Reed's fourth with 4:58 remaining. Shot taken up there, and back with it comes Ian Smeltz. Ian coming away with it at the top of the circle. Momentarily lost it. Got it back again for Herb over on the far side. Into the corner. Here's Steve, short shot as Steve glided into the lane there and shot the ball up well short of the mark. Steve either underestimated his momentum or something that time. At any rate, it was way short. Here's a pass into the corner here. Bounce pass inside here for Custer. His turnaround shot's good. We're down to a 1-point margin. 51-50 UDA by 1. Cross court here now for Steve Herb. Steve looking, dumping it inside here for Sean Herb. 8-footer, good. Sean Herb with a nice pass and a dribble inside the paint. And it's a 53-50. Trojan margin back up to 3. 15 with a shot from outside. It's good. It's a 2-pointer. 53-52. Trojans and the Vikings going at it here. The Northern Lebanon Vikings. Here's Swab with it. Jake over in the left wing, right wing rather. Now back to Sean Herb. Sean dribbles in, puts a shot up, and a walk called. Sean going for the hoop, draws the walk as both Lentz and Reed come back into the ball game. Swab and Chad Mix go out for UDA. Here's that Custer over on the far side, and a walk called on number 35, Brewer, as he started out too quickly. Goes for the walk. 3:31 remaining, 1-point ball game. 53-52, Trojans by 1. Ian Smeltz across the timeline, double teamed out here, gets the pass across here now for Steve Herb. Shot is no good. Rebound comes off to the Trojans. Whoa, wait a minute, jump, and it will be Viking ball. Tied up in there. Ian Smeltz got tied up with one of the Vikings, and on the possession rule, it will be the Vikings with the ball. Near side pass here for Custer. He drives right to the hoop, puts it up and in, and gives the Vikings a 1-point margin now. 54-53, Northern Lebanon. Here comes the ball loose, and back with it comes Custer. Or not Custer, Runkle, and Runkle puts it up and in good, and he gets the foul. The foul will be on Sean Herb. And that one could hurt, as the bucket was good, and make it a 56-53 ball game. And Runkle will be at the line shooting 1, and timeout's going to be called now by Upper Dauphin. Well, the ball game keeps going back and forth, and right now it's the Vikings' turn to take the leads, 56-53, with 2:58 remaining, and Runkle at the line for the Vikings, shooting 1. Okay, the Trojan timeout is over, and Runkle positions himself at the line to shoot 1. Here it is. It is no good. Rebound comes back out here to Steve Herb. Steve crossed the timeline right down here. Drops it over here to brother Sean. Sean looking back out in front here now for Ian Smeltz. Ian looking inside, goes in there to Lentz. Jeff's got it, dribbles once, drops it back out here for Herb, and now Sean Herb had it. Now back to Steve Herb. Now over here on the near side for Smeltz. Smeltz for 3. No good. Rebound comes off to the Vikings as Runkle pulled it down. Drops it back off here now for Brewer. And 15 has it. Timeout called by the Northern Lebanon club with 2:19 remaining. Both coaches taking advantage of every possible timeout. Still a 3-point margin. And the Northern Lebanon Vikings with the ball. 2:19 remaining in the ball game. Okay, the Viking timeout is over. So they'll put the ball in play. Clock down to 2:15. We'll keep one eye on the clock. Trojans trailing by 3. This is Brewer with it for 15. Ooh, ball tipped away very, very nicely. Steve Herb goes in and lays it up and in. Good. Good job that time by Steve Herb. We've got a 1-point ball game, 56-55. And the Trojans try to trap him in the zone, but that doesn't work this time. And 15 with it again here now. Boy, Steve Herb with a good steal that time. Bounce pass inside, ball tipped away again. Picked up by, let's see. Well, it's going to be the Vikings controlling. Brewer drops it back to 15. Whoa, boy, wait a minute. Ball loose, and it's going to go out of bounds off the Trojans. Boy, some good defense out front here. The way these kids are stealing that ball and not getting called for a foul. Wow. He and Smeltz doing a job. Both he and Steve Herb playing terrifically out here. This is Steve Herb on the ball carrier now. Minute and 15 seconds remaining, and a walk going to be called. Yep, traveling. Trojans with an opportunity to come back and take the lead. 55-56. They trail by 1. A minute, 16 seconds remaining in the ball game. So if we can settle it up now, okay, we're going to get a man into the ball game, number 11. Grimes comes in to replace number 15. And here we go. Clock down to 1:10. Smeltz over there for Herb. This is Steve Herb. Into the corner for Ian Smeltz. Deep on the right wing. Back out in front for Sean Herb. Sean into the lane. Stop. Popping up a short one. 14-footer. Rebound comes back off to the Vikings, and they'll come back with a 1-point margin now. This is Grimes over on the far side. Clock down to 45 seconds. Grimes with it. Circling around back here. Stopping. Popping it back out in front here for Custer. Custer over on the far side. Now back out in front for Grimes. 35 seconds left. Grimes with it, clock down to 30, and a foul now as Steve Herb will pick up the foul on number 11, Grimes. And Grimes, this young little fella, is going to have to come up and go to the foul line now. A lot of pressure on the young lad. He'll be at the foul line for his Vikings with just 29 seconds left in the ball game, and his ball club up by 1. So Trojans need to call timeout. That's what they're going to do right now. That's not what I wasn't going to suggest that they needed to do that, but it wasn't a bad idea. 29 seconds remaining. Grimes at the line, shooting. He's got a 1-point margin for the North Lebanon Vikings. Okay, all eyes momentarily are on young Mr. Grimes here as he goes to the foul line to shoot a 1-and-1, a big 1-and-1. Trojans need the rebound. Grimes is supposed to miss the first one. Can he do it? No, he made the first one. 2-point margin, 57-55. That wasn't the killer so far. The next shot could be, but we'll see. See if Grimes can miss this one. And if the Trojans can get the rebound, they must get the rebound. 29 seconds remaining in the ball game. Second shot, no good. Rebound comes off to the Vikings. They'll bring it back out here for Grimes. Steal and a foul. Ooh, they're going to call a foul on Ian Smeltz. Ian will pick up the foul. And it looks like, let's see, it'll be Grimes to the line again. I'm not sure. 23 seconds remaining, so still got lots of time. No, it's going to be 35 Brewer going to the foul line to shoot a 1-and-1, 57-55. is the score. So let's see if he can miss this one. He did. Ball comes right down, though, and the Vikings with the rebound, and 33. Runkel puts it up and in. 55-59 now. Time winding down. Here's Lentz. Backs out to shoot for three. It is no good. Rebound on the far side. Going to be picked off over there by the Trojans, but the clock down to 5 seconds. Here's the ball stolen away. And that's going to do it, as the Trojans are going to lose their opener tonight on the schedule to the Northern Lebanon Vikings by a final score of 59-55. So, tough ball game, and the Trojans suffer their first loss on the schedule. But good ball game, as it turns out. Just came up a little bit short. So, both the varsity and the junior varsity losing tonight to these Northern Lebanon Vikings. We'll be back with the next ball game a little later on. Tough luck, tough ball game. Rich shakes his head. He's not sure about that one.